Morning. We shall begin with today's manufacturing process of the manufacture of nitric acid by Ostwald's process. Earlier we have completed manufacture of sulfur acid by contact process. Then yesterday we have completed the manufacture of ammonia by Haber's process. Today we shall begin with the manufacture of nitric acid by Ostwald process. As we know that nitric acid worldwide it can be manufactured by only one method, that is a Ostwald's process. In the early days, when the method was invented by certain scientists, in the early days, nitric acid is manufactured by nitrate process, or the process is also known as a Chile salt process, where certain nitrates were used for the manufacturing process. But this process has so many drawbacks and hence it is outdated. After this, second process was introduced, that is known as the ARC process or Birkeland-Eyde process, where atmospheric air was used so as to oxidize the ammonia so as to produce nitric oxide. But again, electricity is required so as to produce the arc. The process is costly. And again, there are other drawbacks for this process, and hence the process is again outdated. And nowadays, the process that is used worldwide is known as a Ostwald's process of manufacture of nitric acid. Now here, again, as usual, we have to study the process in two different steps. In the first step, we have to study the physico-chemical principles or optimum reaction conditions at which the yield of the product is maximum, which is also sometimes known as a technical conditions or technical reaction conditions. If we maintain all these reaction conditions, then the product is maximum with a quality and the quantitative manner. Now, the fundamental reaction that we have to study as usual, and then we are going to proceed with a plant and process, and I'm having a video of this manufacturing plant and process. Let us see how the physico-chemical principles can be studied. Take a look at this. We are studying the Ostwald's process for the manufacture of nitric acid, that is HNO3. Here, the main or fundamental reaction to manufacture this nitric acid is 4NH3 plus 5O2 gives 4NO plus 6H2O plus 216.6 kilocalories heat is hot. Now, what is the peculiarity of this reaction? First is that the reaction is irreversible. The reaction is irreversible. And second, the reaction, that is formation, oxidation of ammonia into nitric oxide. This process is exothermic. So based on these parameters, we have to study the physico-chemical principles. The first physico-chemical principle is what is the effect of pressure. Now, while studying the pressure, we have to consider this reaction 4NH3 plus 5O2 gives 4NO plus 6H2O. Now, here 4 volumes of ammonia mixed with 5 volumes of oxygen. So total volume is 9, which is converted into 4 plus 6, that is 10. That means 9 volumes of the reactants are converted into 10 volumes of the product. According to Le-Chatelier's principle, whenever there is an increase in the volume of the product, then decrease in pressure should favor the formation of this nitric acid, indirectly the nitric oxide. So this product is known as a nitric oxide, and from this nitric oxide, nitric acid is obtained. So whatever reaction conditions that we are applying, that is based on the maximum percentage conversion of nitric ammonia into nitric oxide. Now, here, as can be seen from the reaction, that there is a increase in the volume, that is the 9 volumes of the reactants are converted into 10 volumes of the product. Hence, decrease in pressure should favor the formation of this nitric oxide, it is seen that the pressure of the order of 7 to 9 atmospheres that is applied on these reacting gases, which enables a greater space velocity. What is a greater space velocity? So the same volumes of the reactants are in intimate contact with the catalyst. This is known as a space velocity. So because of this lower pressure, the reactants, same volumes of the reactants, those are coming in contact with the catalyst. This is known as a space velocity. So space velocity that is increased, and the acid strength, that is a nitric acid strength is also maximum. So pressure is low pressure or decrease in pressure. Second, what is the effect of temperature? Now, while studying the effect of temperature, we have to consider these characteristic features, that forward reaction, that is the reaction itself is an irreversible reaction. Moreover, the formation or the oxidation of ammonia into nitric oxide, this process is exothermic. Because the process is exothermic, and hence low temperature should favor the formation of this nitric oxide. But as we know, at low temperature, the reaction rate is slow. So optimum temperature range is to be obtained. So initially, when the temperature was maintained at about 600 degrees centigrade, then instead of getting nitric oxide, the another product that is obtained is known as a nitrous oxide, and this is nitrogen. So instead of getting nitric oxide, we get nitrous oxide and nitrogen. So this is not fruitful, because if nitrous oxide is produced, nitrous acid from nitrous oxide, one cannot obtain or one cannot synthesize nitric acid. So this happens when the temperature is 600 degrees centigrade. Now, when the temperature is increased, then at increased temperature, ammonia is easily oxidized to nitric oxide, and this is a mere oxidation of ammonia into nitric oxide in presence of the air or oxygen. So the temperature is 750 degrees centigrade, pressure is 7 to 9 atmospheric pressure. Now, the third physicochemical principle, what is the effect of catalyst? Now, while studying the catalyst, here the reaction rate is slow at low temperature, hence it should be increased by using a positive catalyst. So here the catalysts are to be used in different physical forms. Why? Because if the compact mass of catalyst is there, then that is having very less number of active centers, that is known as a physical irregularities, and hence a catalyst should not be used in a compact form. So in this case, in Ostwald's process of ammonia manufacture, such gauze is obtained. So this gauze is of platinum rhodium. Here, all these physical irregularities, the corners, grain boundaries, and the crystal edges, they can add to the active center. So here, the gauze form of this catalyst has a more number of physical irregularities, and hence this gauze form of this catalyst that is used. So as per the theory that we have already studied, that a catalyst should not be used in a gummy or compact form. So if a catalyst, if it is used in a gummy or compact form, it is of no use. Now, here platinum rhodium gauze can be used as a best suitable catalyst with 5 to 8% of rhodium that is used. Then the fourth physicochemical principle is the effect of concentration. So what should be the concentration of the reacting gases? Now, as can be seen from the reaction itself, that if we maintain the concentration at a particular stage, then we can obtain maximum concentration or maximum quantity of nitric oxide. Now in this case, as can be seen from the reaction itself, that means if we see 4NH3 plus 5O2, you have to remember this reaction, 4NO plus 6H2. Now here, if we consider the concentration of the reacting gases or reactants, then 4 parts of ammonia intimately mixed with 5 parts of oxygen. So this proportion is almost 1:1.25. I think you are getting my point. The proportion of 4 ammonia is to 5 oxygen. It is just equal to 1:1.5. That means 1 part of ammonia mixed with 1.25 parts of oxygen. So this proportion is more or less, it is same. But in practice, maximum oxygen that is required, because oxygen is required for 2 important processes. First process is that to oxidize ammonia into nitric oxide, this oxygen is needed, and to convert nitric oxide into nitrogen dioxide, this oxygen is needed. So for 2 reasons, as oxygen is needed, hence in practice the ammonia gas is to air or oxygen, this proportion is 1:10. That means maximum concentration of oxygen, if it is there, then and then we are getting maximum quantity of this nitric oxide. So in practice, this proportion of ammonia is to oxygen is 1:10. So excess of oxygen that is required for the conversion of ammonia into nitric oxide, and this oxygen is also required for the oxidation of nitric oxide into nitrogen dioxide. Then fifth point is a time of contact. What should be the time of contact or the rate of flow of these reacting gases over the catalyst? It is seen that in practice the rate of flow of the reacting gases is very high. That means very fast. That is, this is very high, and they are passing over the platinum gauze catalyst. Here, if by some means, if the rate is still increased, then ammonia and already formed nitric oxide, they may unite to form nitrogen. And if at all nitrogen is formed, further nitric acid cannot be formed. So in order to avoid the formation of nitrogen instead of nitric oxide, we have to maintain a high speed. If we increase the speed beyond this limit, that means very fraction of second, the gases are coming in contact with the platinum rhodium gauze catalyst, and they get converted into the nitric oxide. I'm going to show you in the video how the gases are moving over the catalyst. So these are the reaction conditions or the physicochemical principles. Pressure 7 to 9, temperature 750 degrees centigrade, platinum rhodium in the form of a gauze, and concentration ammonia is mixed with 10 times its volume of purified and dust-free air, and time of contact should be very high, and for a fraction of second or less than fraction of second, these gases are coming in contact with the preheated catalyst. Now we shall move further with the plant and process. How the plant and process that can be seen. Now for the study of plant and process, this plant and process that is studied in 3 important steps. First step is that the oxidation of ammonia takes place. Oxidation of ammonia takes place. The second step is the oxidation of nitric oxide to nitrogen dioxide, and third step is a absorption of nitrogen dioxide. So these are the 3 steps. First is the oxidation of ammonia. That means NH3 is converted into NO. Here NO is converted into NO2. That is second step. And this NO2, when it is absorbed in water, we obtain our required product as HNO3. So these are the 3 steps. Now I am having the diagram that already I have posted yesterday. I think you might be very clear at this diagram. Here, this is a plant and process for this manufacturing process. So here, the first step, as we know, is oxidation of ammonia. Here, this is a specially designed assembly where it is kept. This is cylinder that is kept, which is used for the oxidation of ammonia. This is nothing but the catalytic chamber, which is made up of aluminum. So this chamber is made up of aluminum and is provided with a silk fine platinum rhodium gauze. So this is known as a silk fine platinum rhodium gauze. The cylinder, this cylinder is kept vertical in the catalytic chamber and it is closed at the end with a silica piece. Now, this cylinder acts as a catalyst. So here the catalyst is kept here. To start the reaction, the catalyst is initially heated. That means here, as we know, the oxidation is exothermic, that supply enough heat. So initially the catalyst is preheated to about 250 degrees centigrade. And then when the reaction starts, the temperature reaches to about 750 degrees centigrade. But afterwards, its temperature is automatically converted by heat of reaction. What is the heat of reaction? Here, when ammonia and air, they combine so as to form this nitric oxide, which is I have shown here. This oxidation is exothermic and keeps the temperature of this catalytic chamber to about 750 degrees centigrade because of the reaction is exothermic. Now, ammonia is mixed with 10 times its volume of purified air and is heated to about 260 degrees centigrade. Just now I told you this. This mixture is admitted into the catalytic chamber and it is rapidly passed through the platinum rhodium gauze, which is under 750 degrees centigrade temperature, and proper temperature can be maintained by controlling the speed of these entering gases. Under these conditions, nearly about 95% of ammonia and air, they are converted into nitric oxide. So nothing is lost, and this is how the first step that comes to an end. Now here, after the oxidation of ammonia into nitric oxide, the nitric oxide gases are very hot at about 750 degrees centigrade. So before they enter to the second step, they are subjected to pass through the heat exchangers, which I have shown here. These are known as a cooler or heat exchangers, which are also known as the boilers. As soon as this nitric oxide gas is passed through a number of pipes which are contained inside this heat exchanger or cooler, and hence after passing the nitric oxide gas, it gets cooled here. So here the temperature of nitric oxide gas is very high, but at this end the temperature is very cold. Now these cool gases are now allowed to pass into the next chamber, that is second step, known as a oxidation chamber. This is a very important part of this manufacturing process, because whatever nitric acid is to be synthesized or whatever nitric acid to be manufactured here, that much quantity of this nitrogen dioxide that is produced in this chamber only. So here, when this cooled nitric oxide gas is brought into this chamber, a calculated quantity of oxygen that is mixed with this nitric oxide so as to convert this nitric oxide into nitrogen dioxide. So here at this point NO is there, at this point NO2 is there. That means the oxidation takes place. Now this is the second step that comes to an end. Now the third step begins, that is absorption of nitrogen dioxide so as to produce nitric acid. This is absorption tower, which is again cylindrical, well equipped with silica bricks, which is inside, which is a steel chamber, which is having a specially designed assembly at the top from which water is flowed on a very high pressure. At this point we are with nitrogen dioxide. So as soon as the nitrogen dioxide gases come upward, it mixes with the downward coming flow of H2O, and the reaction, that is NO2 plus H2O, gives HNO3. So after some time, the NO2 gas becomes very dilute. Such gases do not produce nitric acid, and hence these gases or diluted NO2 gas is now allowed to pass to soda tower, where when NO2 gas, when it is mixed with soda tower, they can produce NaNO3, that is sodium nitrate, and NaNO2, that is sodium nitrite. So this is how these are the steps those we have to follow so as to manufacture this nitric acid by using this silk fine platinum rhodium core. So this is how we can synthesize the nitric acid by this Ostwald's process. Now in this case, if we look at certain merits of this process, then what are the merits? Here, the two merits are there. First merit is that it is a very economical process. Why it is economical process? Because of decreased price of ammonia, because the cost of production of ammonia is very, very low, and because of this, the raw material, besides its use as a chemical, it is used as a raw material to manufacture nitric acid. So this ammonia as a starting material is very, very cheap, and if at all such cheap material is used, then the cost of manufacture will be also low, and hence the process is regarded as a economical. And the cost of maintenance is also very, very low. Why? Because no well furnished equipment that is needed, only the first part that is furnished, remaining parts are only oxidation and absorption. So these are the two merits. No demerits are found yet. So this is how we can synthesize or we can manufacture this ammonia. I would like to show you the actual video which manufacture where the manufacturing process takes place. So look at this video, which is of 4 minutes. See this video. Now, I think you are very well familiar with the manufacturing process of this nitric acid by Oswald process. The schematic representation that enable you for better understanding of the manufacturing process. So you should remember the physico-chemical principle for all these acids, that is the nitric acid, then ammonia, and the sulfuric acid, because you have to prepare one tabular form, and that will enable you for the better understanding of the attempting the MCQ type questions which may be asked during the exam time. So once again, I would like to give emphasis on the physico-chemical principles of this nitric acid by Oswald process. Is that first is the effect of pressure of about 7 to 9 atmospheric pressure. Secondly, the effect of temperature. The temperature should be between 700 to 800 degrees centigrade. Exact temperature is 750 degrees centigrade. Just now we have seen while looking at the video. Then third, the effect of catalyst. Catalyst should not be used in a gummy or compact form. You have seen the number of gauze are kept inside the catalytic chamber. Then effect of concentration, as we know that while studying this manufacturing process, it is seen that a surplus amount of oxygen that is needed for two reasons. Why oxygen is needed for needed in excess? Because oxygen is needed for two reasons. First is to oxidize ammonia into nitric oxide, and second for oxidation of nitric oxide to nitrogen dioxide. So for these two reasons, oxygen surplus supply of oxygen is needed, and hence the effect of concentration while studying, the concentration should be 1:10, 1 part of ammonia intimately mixed with 10 parts of dust free and purified air. Then the time of contact or rate of flow. Here we have seen that the conversion or the oxidation of ammonia into nitric oxide in presence of atmospheric air, that is very fast. As the oxidation process is very fast, and hence these gases, ammonia and oxygen, should not be kept in a very long period of time, because the unreacted gases, they may form invisible layer. Here it is also, one should bear in mind that oxygen, if we calculate the molecular weight of oxygen, then oxygen is having the molecular weight of the oxygen having molecular weight, that is, we have seen it is ammonia is having molecular weight 17, and oxygen is having molecular weight higher than ammonia, and because oxygen is having higher molecular weight, and hence it diffuses very slowly from the multi-layer platinum gauze, and hence the concentration of oxygen is to be increased, which enable us for the better oxidation of ammonia into nitric oxide. So this is how we can synthesize nitric acid by Ostwald's process, as the process itself is discovered by Ostwald, and hence the process is named as the Ostwald's process. Now, I would like to make you certain announcements today.